It's been maybe a week since I played Subnautica, so I gotta remember what I have been doing. I have been running around a little bit here and there, grabbing extra supplies because I fell way behind. So now I've got so much cured fish, I've got no idea what to do with it. I should bring a little bit of it with me where I'm going. I should also grab a little bit of water. Alright, because where I'm going is an island that I've been to before. Was it the Rendezvous? Stranded near cave system and under attack? Is that... or... where was it? I think it... oh, dry land, yes. Okay, Aurora Rendezvous Point, dry land. Nice red signal marker over there. And I think that I've got my Seamoth parked in the moon pool. So, what I want to do is go back to the anti-spacecraft weapon. That anti-spacecraft weapon, it had a cave that was full of really, really essential supplies. And I was only able to bring some of it back the first time. And now I've kind of lost track of where that place is. Oh, wait a minute. One of my goals was to build a beacon there. I actually don't know how to build a beacon. How do you build a beacon? What do I need in order to build a beacon? I should bring whatever that is with me so I can get back to this place once I find it again. Oh, wait. Creature decoy, grab trap, beacon. Okay, this requires copper ore and titanium. Well, that is not something I was just going to find. I mean, titanium, yes, I'll find that everywhere. But copper ore was going to be a little bit of a problem. So let's make sure we've got some of that. I might be able to scavenge it, but I might not. So let's make sure we got it.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
So I believe I keep that here. As I said, I've been running around scavenging things, so I have a little bit more to work with because, you know, I figured that you didn't necessarily come here to watch me do just dry, basic scavenging. So I can do that between sessions and spend the sessions on the interesting stuff, like scavenging. Oh, wait, I'm still going to this place to scavenge. Never mind. I'm boring no matter what. Oh, Randall Cord points out I'm underwater, so it couldn't be dry scavenging anyway. Well, actually, in this particular mission, I am doing some dry scavenging. I'm specifically going to a place that has a cave on dry land. So, basically, when I went to the place where I was supposed to rendezvous with the, what's it called? With the Sunbeam, I didn't have the ability to make beacons back then, and so I wasn't able to mark the place. But that place had a teleporter that took me back, I believe, to the original Aurora Rendezvous Point. And so I'm going to go to the rendezvous point, try to find that teleporter, and take it back to the anti-aircraft island. And I'm hoping that's going to work. I'm not... normally I'd be skimming the bottom of the ocean right now to see if there's anything to scavenge, but there's so much good stuff to scavenge in that cave, I kind of don't want to fill up my inventory until after I've given it a shot. Looks like the sun's starting to come up. And there's my island. So last time I visited this island, I went underneath and came up in sort of the moon pool of the island. This time I'm going to see if I can find a shoreline, because that was the first way I explored the island, was via the shoreline. Looks like this is unclimbable. Okay. And that was how I found... that was the time that I found the teleporter. The last time I visited, I never actually saw the teleporter, and so it might be difficult to find. So I'm going to see what I can do here. Okay, it's not... I could have sworn there was a beach. Is there not a beach? Do I have to go through the moon pool? Is my memory of finding this island faulty? Could have sworn there was a beach on the outside. and that it was a surprise to me. Oh, I've never seen my ship just sort of peel into existence like that. Aha, here we are. So Smug Rainbow Pony says, since last time I got a bit further in the lore of the sequel. I like what they're doing with the story in these games. They do definitely, like, I mean, it takes a special kind of skill to tell it. Wow! Get away from me. It takes a special kind of skill to even tell a story with this kind of game. Because the player has so much agency. They can just kind of go wherever they want, do whatever they want. And if there's a specific story you want to tell, wrangling the player, corralling the player into that story, it can be very difficult because, I mean, they come here specifically because they want this kind of freedom, right? And so not only is it hard to get them to go where you want, most of your tools for doing that are heavy-handed and mess up the experience for the player who wants it to be light and, story light and very sort of open-ended. I'm pretty sure I already explored this. This is very familiar. I definitely want some potatoes, though. All right, so, yeah, so, the time that I found the teleporter, what was I doing that was different? Because that trip, I never found any of these, like, castaway settlement sites. I only found the teleporter. So it must be in some obvious place, right? Yeah, Smug Rainbow Pony says that most of the story is like audio logs and text. You have to really kind of opt into it. Which I think, that is sort of the solution that they found, right? Okay, so this is me dropping things because I ran out of room in my inventory. I'm going to keep running because I think there's a crab following me. This feels kind of familiar. Maybe I should have gone through the moon pool, because that at least starts you underground. This might actually be the moon pool right here. Alright, hold on. Where would I have gone the first time I came here? Oh well. Wah! Okay. So here's dry land. Okay, so I could have come down here a less dangerous way. This is sort of like retracing my steps. Pink caps. My inventory is completely full of like melons and things. I'll probably just eat the melons. So yeah, I've clearly been this way because there's like dropped versions of things everywhere. Maybe my memory's faulty. Maybe I never found a teleporter here. I mean, dumber things have happened with me. Oh no! That was not what I meant to do. And now I'm kind of back where I started, aren't I? Is this... No. Oh, this is a different beach. This isn't where I started with my sea moth. Well, maybe that'll be useful. Would I have come up this way? I wonder if it's like up on the mountain. Like the entrance. I did definitely get close to these trees at some point. I don't see a cave I could have gone into. I mean, unless there's one just around one of these corners. Wait, so Scott Lannon says it's the cave not far from the big gun, but I don't think... So I'm not consciously on the island with a big gun. I'm on the island with the castaway settlements. And my expectation was that I would find a teleporter here that would lead me to the island with the big gun. The island with the big gun is my destination. But I don't know how to get there from here. Like, I think the first time I came to this island... I'm back where I started, aren't I? The first time I came to this island, I didn't find any of these castaway settlements. All I found was a big underground teleportation gate that was inert. And then later on, I found the island with the gun on it. And then I turned on in the teleporter on that end and came here. But then I immediately turned around and went back, and I didn't figure out how that teleporter connects to the rest of the island. And so now I'm like trying to find a teleporter to get back to the island with the big gun. That's what I'm trying to find, is the island with the big gun. So I'm thinking this island is my vector to get there. But I don't know how. Okay, so Smug Rainbow Pony says that the moon pool is the way to get there. So when I jumped into the moon pool down here, that actually was the right move. I just took the wrong move after that. Well, should I take another risk and see if I can jump into the moon pool successfully again? Oh, no! Okay, yes, I did it. All right, cool. All right, so I'm here in the moon pool. That's what I call this, that's what I call this lake. And... is there an exit I need to take that I didn't realize I needed to take? Is it up this way? No? So Greetings here says, I think I saw it from the pool. I mean, could it be like that cave up there? I mean, I'm not getting there from here. But if that was the case, if I knew that's where I was headed, I could at least circle around it and try to get there. There doesn't seem to be an exit that isn't just a way up. And there's this little loop here that doesn't go anywhere. The only exits I see are the ones that lead up through the grass. So that's not an exit. That takes me up to normal places. This seems like it probably takes me up to normal places. Huh, is this? Nope, this is just a normal place. But if that little cave up above maybe was it, then maybe that means... Can I get up here? Oh my gosh, come on. I could do this in real life, come on. I have impatience with video game characters who cannot do who are supposed to be athletic, but cannot do things I can do in real life. Oh, okay. Yes. I think that might have been the right move. Yes, here we are. Here we are. We did it right. We found that little tiny cave is right here. I thought that I remembered it being connected to the moon pool, but I guess it was connected in such a way that, yeah, it was hard to find going the other direction. But here it is, the activated teleporter. Which means I can get to the other island. Snake Rainbow Pony points out that my character's walking around with giant swimming fins on, so maybe I should give him some slack. Or her some slack? I actually don't know what gender I am, or if it even matters. I mean, it probably doesn't. The story might not even say. No, wait, I've got a voice, don't I? I don't remember what my voice sounds like. Alright. Well, what the... What was that? What's biting me? I don't know. I know what can bite me. Everything on this island can bite me. Okay, so what do I actually want? Oh, wait. Oh, I've got a flashlight on the Sea Glide? I'm just going to use my Sea Glide flashlight, if that's cool. Okay, here's a problem. Okay, actually, first I should scan this, if it's telling me to scan it. I harvested so many of these without scanning them. And then, let's look at my inventory, which is full of melons and potatoes. I'm definitely going to eat all these melons and potatoes. Drink some water. I don't really care about these things. I forgot to bring medical supplies. That's going to be weird. If I get hurt by too many crabs. Okay, so yeah. So I'm here mostly to harvest shale outcroppings. And to place a beacon before I leave. That's the other thing I'm here to do. Place a beacon before I leave. So... Now, I did get most of the shale outcroppings, but there's a bunch that I left unharvested. I wonder if the Sea Glide costs the same amount of power when I'm just using it as a flashlight versus when I'm using it as like a propulsion device. There's just lithium, just straight lithium in these walls? What? I just remembered shale being in the walls, not lithium. Just straight chunks of lithium sticking out of walls. Man, imagine if mining was as easy as it is in video games. I mean, it's not like I feel the pain of mining being hard right now. I don't. But somebody does. Got some diamonds. Oh, you just go away. I'm not bothering you. Oh, I said I'm not bothering you. Now I'm bothering you. There. That's what comes of bothering me. All right. You get bothered back. Did I miss anything up here while I was getting eaten by a crab? Doesn't look like I did. Oh, more lithium just sticking out of walls. So Corner Eagle says, I think there's a tooltip from the computer voice at some point that's about the dangers of not incorporating non-swimming exercises. Yes. Yeah, at first it comes off as, patronizing, because like, what can I do besides swim, you idiot? Because it's before I've got a base, it's before I've found dry land. But now, actually, it does seem like an explanation for why my character is not very athletic on land. I don't really get to stretch my legs all that much. Smug Grandpa Pony says, I was about to advise that you get your detector out, but that's a sequel game thing. Never mind. Yeah, it is hard to keep track of that stuff sometimes. Especially when the game's sort of like feel and perspective is so similar. Oh my gosh, there is so much shale. I remember how frustrated I was going through here the first time because I was like, I want to bring all of this home. Every speck of it. And I could not. Now, whenever I run out of space, I'll just plant a beacon and leave. Of course, I'll want to find the teleporter again. Ah, inventory full. Let's look at our inventory. Oh, we accidentally picked up a piece of tree to eat. Grab that lithium. So I can grab, you know, a handful more things. Some more gold. Some more lithium. Did I miss one? Oh, wait. I missed a couple. And that's probably my last one to pick up. Probably can't get anything out of here. Unless I just want to shove some more water in my gob. There we go. Now I'm proper full up. And now... Oh, what? Wait a minute. How did I... Ah! You screw off. I don't care how much evolution loves you. I hate you. Okay, so there's a purple tablet here at the top of the cave. And I want to get it. Oh, wait. Making my beacon. That's going to take titanium and copper. That's right. What's over there on that rock? Oh, I think it's just a flying bird, a floating bird. Okay. So you know what? I don't know. I don't know exactly how. I assume I place a beacon with this sucker? Is that right? Oh no. Oh no. Did I need to craft a beacon first at home and then bring it as an object? I probably did. Oh man, somebody who knows what they're supposed to do watching me right now is like watching me as I was leaving my base was probably like, sir? Sir? Wait. I really should have figured that out before I did this. Okay. Options. Oh. Huh. Wait. Now, I don't have power. I've got titanium and gold, and I could get a table coral sample. I could make a fabricator, but I think I would need to also have power, and I don't think I've got what it takes for that. Quartz, titanium, copper, I don't have that. That would start getting really elaborate. Unless, Okay, one option I might have is to place a locker somewhere. That takes 2 titanium. Finding one more titanium doesn't sound preposterous. Then I can drop all my stuff here. And then go hunting for the resources I need to make a base. That's just silliness. You know what? I've got a way to get here. It's the teleporter. So what we're going to do is backtrack all the way home, drop this stuff off. Okay, I clearly have not been... I clearly took a weird route back because I have not been in this cave. You can tell by the fact that I have not harvested any of this shale or any of this lithium. Which means I'm going to have trouble finding the teleporter. That's great. Oh man, I can't wait to not be able to find my way back. Okay, these little moth birds are weird. I'm curious. Okay, so my sea moth is 2 kilometers away. I'm not swimming there. You know, when you've clearly taken a wrong turn, continuing to just follow that wrong turn, not the best plan. Well, this looks like I'm probably coming back into the same central... Get off me, crab. All right, no, this route is also full of shale. I only had 1 bit of shale. I just figure my way back is probably the route with no shale in it. And, okay, this has no shale in it. I could have just missed that 1 chunk. Let's see if this is my way back. Again, I've got a thing that leaves a path behind me as I go. It's specifically designed for circuitous caves. Nope, this doesn't feel right. Like, the whole reason it exists is so I don't get lost in circuitous caves. Did I bring that tool with me? No. No, I did not. Am I taking this sea glide home? Is that what I'm doing? Oh, okay, so here is... get off me. Oh, get off me. Oh, I hate you so much. I suspect this might be a different teleporter. Because there was so much shale in the route up here. Folks are suggesting that I use a topographical display on the Sea Glide. But yeah, then other folks are saying, no, it's sonar-based, it only works in the water. I certainly didn't notice anything on it. Okay, is this where I want to be? Yes, okay, the cocoon is only a short distance away. Okay, cool. So now we're going to do the dumb thing we should have done at the beginning. Which is go craft a beacon and bring it back. Yay, I'm sure you're all very glad you came here. Okay, so can I just jump from this successfully? We'll find out. Dive. All right. And now I've got a topographical map. Head up here to the cocoon. And take it home.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Okay, so it looks like when I come back, I want to go around the right side of the island. Not the left. The left took me around in huge circles. Or actually, you know what? I should just come up in the middle of the moon pool. Because that's how I know how to get to the teleporter. Cloudcraft showed up. Cloudcraft probably would have reminded me to craft a beacon before leaving home. Thanks, Cloudcraft. You being late is why we're wasting everyone's time. So I just didn't understand how beacons worked. I didn't know that they were objects you carried around and deployed. I thought that they were things you crafted on site with the habitat crafty thing. Huh. Restream is doing something weird. Wants me to refer a friend. And now it's reporting that I've got no one watching me. Well, that can't be true. There we go. Okay. It's caught up now. Might as well check Restream because all I'm doing is just flying straight ahead. Oh, wow. It's rendering weird parts of my base from super far away. Cloudcraft called that out before. That's an interesting bug. It could be that they set it up so that those interior parts of your base don't respond to the like the volumetric fog and stuff like that or whatever. They don't respond to the fog effects because they're interiors and they're not supposed to look like water. But maybe that's the only thing that's actually hiding things in the distance is that those fog effects of the water. And so because they don't have that benefit, I just climbed up again by accident. Things you do in video games you don't do in real life. Climbing up a ladder you intended to climb down by accident. Actually, you know what? That's not entirely true. I sometimes do that. I sometimes go up the wrong stairs and things like that in my own house. So, whatever. Oh, first, let's dump all of this amazing rare metal. Boink, boink, boink. Boink, boink. And rare crystals. Doink, 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 doink. I might need more lockers after this. Because doink, 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 doink runs me out of space. Okay. So, yeah, I might need to make, like, a special locker just for this. Okay, so let's open up my trash metal locker. Grab some trash metal. And let's make more lockers. I did a terrible job. It's fine. It's fine. Someday I'll build another base and it'll be better. Or I'll expand this base and it will be better. Maybe it'll be because I got a bunch of lithium. Okay, so what I'm going to do is... we're just going to make this the lithium locker. Because I'm going to collect so much more lithium on this trip. So this is now the lithium locker. This is now the gray metal locker. And it will contain lead and silver, of which I have less. And this locker is just so badly placed. With both of them, I was trying to place them even with sort of the corners of the reinforcement, and I just did such a bad job. Yeah, Cloudcraft is telling me at some point I'm probably going to want to move my main base anyway, so it's probably not a bad thing if this first base is just kind of garbage. And yeah, I agree. That's how I'm comforting myself in the sort of the poor execution of this locker placement. I don't know, this... oh, you know what? I can't deal with it. Luckily, I haven't filled it with anything yet. So it's... okay, so that makes it look like it's about as high as everything else. Okay, so I don't know what that locker's for yet exactly, but... one thing I do know is that... oh, wait. Just to be safe. How do I just want to remove the battery. Oh, do I need to actually have a new battery first? Maybe I need to have a new battery first. Okay, put the new battery in. Drop the old battery off. And let's craft a deployable called a beacon. Right there. Okay, so now, do I have everything I need? I've got this beacon to plant. I don't need this titanium. I'll drop that. And I'm going to go mine that place again. Come back with so much stuff I don't know what to do with myself. Cloudcraft suggests that I craft more than one. Actually, I'm not sure how much copper I have. Oh, I've got a fair amount. Okay. I mean, I'm not expecting to need a second beacon on this trip. I'm planning on going to that island and coming right back. Probably actually by way of the teleporter. Because I'll have the Seamoth. But I don't mind crafting a couple extras just to make sure I've got them on hand for the future. And then to save inventory space, I'll just stick them in this locker. I can grab them easily next time. While I'm in here, let's grab some water for the journey. Let's eat some of the water. Grab some more of the water. I guess we'll also eat some fishies. There we go. Now we're in good shape. Anyway, put the beacons away. Grab a little bit more of the food I laboriously collected. And, oh, wait, we should also, no, not in that locker. I think still this one. We should also heal. let's grab a couple of these. You know what I won't need? A lot of this other equipment. Hold on. Like this flare. And that's, honestly, do I need the Sea Glide on this trip? I've got a flashlight. I think I've got 2 gear lockers, don't I? Maybe I don't. Okay, yeah, let's store our large pieces of gear in this empty locker here. And then, yeah, am I going to need the repair tool or the laser cutter? I don't know. Maybe, I guess, if I encounter something underwater on the way back home or something like that. But I can drop those guys off at least. I probably should use the Pathfinder tool this time so I don't get lost. This is probably fine. If nothing else, those tools that I might not use have extra batteries in them that I can use for the ones that I do need. Oh, interesting. So Cloudcraft says that you can actually store fresh fish as long as you want, and it won't be a problem. The only time fish rot is when they're in your pockets. That is a thing I did not know. Okay, so let's turn on that signal. There. Oh, there it is. It was already there. Oh, bump a fish. Oh, by the way, Cloudcraft, I did find the beacon place that you were talking about before. Like, I ended up finding my beacon bits in another location, different from the one you had recommended to me. I did eventually find the one you recommended to me, and got some titanium out of scanning the beacon pieces there. Oh, interesting. Oh, Cloudcraft says the only time fish rot is when it's cooked. Okay, so the thing you shouldn't do is cook fish and then just carry it around. Interesting. I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? Because I think they're imagining that the fish is just alive as you're carrying it around, and because you can put it in the aquarium and it keeps swimming. You just got, like, your pockets full of live fish. Trying to imagine being this character with a pocket full of live fish is kind of funny to me. Almost like, I wish I was an artist so I could draw a webcomic about that. About, like, the Subnautica character running around with just pockets full of squirming fish. Okay, so we have been live for about 40 minutes. I want to keep this to an hour, so let's see. Let's do one more mining run here. Let's leave, so not here, but let's take the teleporter, get to the other island, do one more mining run there, leave a beacon, and then come home. Cloudcraft, do beacons like need to be in the water or anything, or do they work just as well on dry land? Right. So now I actually know the way to get from this Moonpool lake thing to the teleporter. Go up through here. This is one. I mean, you can go lots of ways. This is one way. And then it's around this corner into this cave. Okay, and then I started exploring this cave. Let me grab my flashlight here. Right, okay, so yeah, this cave. This leads me to the teleporter. And the teleporter will take me to the other place. And that's where I will continue to mine ridiculous amounts of lithium. And also, it looks like there's a bunch of salt and stuff in that place, too. And some more purple stuff. Sunny D. Yeah, so the reason I'm not putting a beacon on that other island is because it already has... Wait a minute. There's already shale on that wall? What? Is the shale respawning or something? I swear I took this route last time. Anyway, yeah, so it's already got a, it's already got kind of a beacon on it. It's like somebody else left a beacon there. And so I can always just reference that beacon if I need to. I don't really need to, that's how I got there, right? It's because it already has a beacon. That's why I took that route to get here. I didn't try to just, like, randomly search the ocean for this place. I knew I could get here because there was a beacon placed by my former crew members in the other place. So I went there, took the teleporter to get here. Okay, so this is the place I already went because all the shale is off the walls. Okay, I must have, just missed those first couple of rocks on my first trip in. Because now there are none. Okay, actually, this might be the right occasion for me to use that, like, cave navigation tool for the first time. So let's get back up to where we were. Okay, yeah, this is unmistakably the route back to the teleporter. Okay, so I think I've got that thing right. Pathfinder tool. There we go. Let's use this thing for the first time. Oh, does it... Wait. Does it not work on dry land? Oh, wait. Clear nodes. Okay, I'm clearing the nodes. Oh, maybe it doesn't work on dry land. Aw, dang. Well, that's unfortunate. All right. Well, honestly, that, like, frees me from the responsibility of being good at navigating these caves. Like, now I'm not going to feel bad if I get lost. Though, actually, no, maybe what I should do. Here's what I should do. I'll place the beacon at the teleporter, or near the teleporter. So I can use that to at least sort of orient myself in the right direction. Though, in these twisting caves, that might not mean very much. But okay. The tank says drop trash items as breadcrumbs. So the question is, can I now see that beacon? Beacon 3. Let's make it yellow. Oh, okay, so we got to get a certain distance from it. And there it is. Beacon 3. Okay. Ah, it's so dark here. Okay, let's head downstairs. Start mining in earnest. Okay, so I could go down that way or up this way. I have no idea what's going to be a good idea. There was all that salt I found out on the surface, which was really cool. Hey, little bastards. I'm glad these things bioluminesce. Ah, whoa, so I can find them more easily and murder them. Because apparently I'm incapable of holding a flashlight in my left hand while I'm fighting. Ugh. Come on. Come here. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I definitely understand the fact that, you know, they want this game to have sort of they need simplicity in how you control, you know, what you've equipped. And like having only one thing equipped at a time is much simpler UX than trying to like equip things in both hands and try to figure out how that's handled. Like, I get it. I don't resent them for not letting me actually just, you know, dual wield items. That is a layer of complexity that would probably have been would have made the game less accessible up front. But at the same time, I don't know. What the? What? The fact that I can't even run without putting away my flashlight is a little weird. That is a normal rock. Well, now I'm definitely going to spam the A button every time I get close to these things. So they don't disappear into the wall. Oh, okay. So Cloudcraft brought up the idea of onboarding players. Like that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about like how hard it would be to learn. How hard it would be to learn a system that involved dual wielding weapons, and how hard it would be to onboard players. So yeah, onboarding a player is just getting them to the point where they can play your game. You know, naturally, like getting them to the point because everyone starts a new game having no idea how the game is going to work, right? And you have to get them from that point to the point where they're totally comfortable in the game, they know how it works, and they know what they're doing. And we usually call that onboarding. And you know, it's what tutorials are for, but it's also what like some of it is tutorials, some of it is making things, giving the player sort of the tools to find out answers to questions that they have mid-game, like if they've never done a certain thing. You can give them, like say, like the tooltips in Crusader Kings, for instance. There's tooltips on everything. And so, even a player who's midway through the game can use that tool to sort of to overcome obstacles between them and understanding how to play. But there's also just decisions that you make about how accessible, how usable your game is just at a basic level. Like you can make a game that's super complicated and spend the time teaching the player how to play it. Or you can make a game that is just really easy to understand just on its face without needing a lot of teaching. And so when you're contemplating the onboarding for your game, those are actually that latter tool, the tool of making your game just intrinsically easier to understand is actually your more valuable tool. Another tool is giving players a motivation to want to learn. Like if you're making a game that is really fun once you get deep into it, but up front the players don't understand why they would want to get into it, that's also a failure of onboarding. If you don't make them understand what's fun about your game early on in the process, which because players can overcome a lot of obstacles. I mean, you've seen there are a lot of players out there who play Dwarf Fortress, and you might ask why. Why would there be a lot of players playing Dwarf Fortress? It doesn't seem like a game that anyone would figure out how to enjoy before they've given up. But the thing that works for Dwarf Fortress is it's all of the stories that you hear. The reason you go to play Dwarf Fortress is because you've heard all the stories about the crazy things that happen in that game. And, communicating up front to the player the crazy things they're going to get to do if they learn your system, that's also a part of onboarding. And that's actually like when we were revamping the tutorial of State of Decay 2 for the Juggernaut edition, we knew that we needed to do the tutorial. We also knew we needed to do a better job of getting players to understand why they would want to play this game any further. And unfortunately, the ideas we had for that didn't pan out for the Juggernaut edition. We're actually still working on some of those ideas because, unfortunately, that problem of, why is someone interested in my game? That's a harder problem to solve than just, did they get enough tutorial messages up front? Like, did they get enough tutorial messages? It's got its own problems. Like, well, what form should those messages take? At what point are they annoying? How easy are they to read? How, do they take a lot of sort of investment and energy before players will even bother with them? There's a lot of questions you have to answer there. But the even bigger problem is my game, is there any reason why somebody would desire to play my game far enough to learn it? Okay, so I should definitely use this, and also this, and maybe one of these, and more of this, and more of that. Okay. And here's some salt to replace the salt that I just ate with that cured fish. And so yeah, so we had some ideas we came up with while we were working on the Juggernaut edition at the the end of 2019 that we're still working on now. That would be, improvements to the game that would make it so that a new player looking at the game for the first time might actually understand why they should care. Why they should engage with the rest of the systems. And I think that's, the folks that are working on State of Decay 3 are actually doing something really, really smart right now. And this doesn't reveal any secrets about State of Decay 3. This is just a process question. But the way that they're approaching it is they're thinking of onboarding first and everything else afterwards. So where is my beacon, by the way? Well, I assume it's lower than me. Oh, no, I am wrong. It is that direction. Now, I don't know if walking this direction is actually going to get me there, but it is that direction. And it's cool. So now that I've got this beacon, I don't need to keep mining all the lithium here forever. I can just take this lithium home and, and use it until I run out and then come back and get some more because I've got the beacon. Anyway, so the State of Decay 3 team, something smart that they're doing that I really like is they're planning the game onboarding first. They're figuring out, what is it going to be like to learn this game step by step? What it'll be like for a brand new beginning player? And then how is the game going to progress? That is a much smarter way of doing it than the way we designed State of Decay 2, which was, what is the super fancy game we want people to have at the high end when they've already learned all the systems and they've been playing for a long time, and then later on trying to answer the question of how do we get them there. They're starting from the ground, and when I saw them doing this, I was like rolling my eyes at myself, like obviously this is how this should be done. Why have I not always done every game this way? But just, it's one of those weird insights where you're like, the thing is, the thing that captures your imagination when you're thinking of a game idea a lot of the time is the elder game play. It's sort of where the game is going to get. And trying to imagine it from the ground up, what's it going to be like for a brand new player, making that experience the best, and then building on that experience. So much smarter. So anyway, again, not revealing any secrets about the nature of State of Decay 3 and what it's going to be like and what its feature set is going to be or how it's going to work. Not revealing any of that stuff. I'm just saying the team has got a much better process for building a game from the ground up than we had on State of Decay 2. We got very excited about how complicated and interesting our game was going to be when you were finished learning it. But I think there's a lot of players who would really like State of Decay 2 who never get far enough into the game to find out what they would like about it. And I think that's an indicator of a mistake on our part, and we probably should have done a better job of that. Oh no! Yes, not dead. All right. But you live and learn. Certainly, every game I design from here on out is going to use that onboarding first mentality, because I think it's the right move. Ranethcourt says, you have revealed one thing. State of Decay 3 will have features. Cloudcraft says, onboarding is honestly among the weakest aspects of Subnautica. So there have been multiple games I've played where Cloudcraft's patience with a game with less than perfect onboarding is what has made it possible for me to get on board with a game that actually I really enjoy. I really like Subnautica. I'm having a great time with it. I think this is the 13th Subnautica video that I've made. I don't usually make this many videos of a game, so clearly I really, really like it. And same with RimWorld. RimWorld is my favorite game of all time. Both of these games had a lot of trouble getting me from zero to actually playing the game. And I guess I don't need to leave that beacon up all the time, do I? In fact, let's get rid of that beacon now. Boink. Gone. I'll grab that beacon back later on. But the thing about RimWorld that made me want to learn to play it was the fact that, like with Dwarf Fortress, the fantasy that it offered was so good that even though I had trouble understanding it early on, I wanted to seek out someone. Like Cloudcraft had never streamed a game with me before or anything like that. I don't think at the time, but the reason I sought out a teacher for that game was because I wanted to be able to do what it promised. And so it got that part of onboarding pretty well. It's an intrinsically complex game that is hard to teach. And so, thinking of your mechanics, thinking of the order of introduction, and thinking what is the game like when you only know one or two things, and is that game and is that game fun? And making sure that game is fun, and then building from there. Oh wait, I can't even. What am I doing? That was not the inventory. That was the construction. Whatever. Okay, here we go. That isn't a quick slow. So I don't know why I've got a hole in my hull here. But we're not going to let that stand. All right, let's go drop off. I literally might have more lithium than I can fit in a locker. We'll see. Gray metal lithium. Here we are. Yup. Okay, hold on. Also crystals. I've got a serious problem to solve here. I mean, okay, how much stuff am I keeping in here? Of like, okay, I've got no salt in here. I usually keep salt in here, but I don't. Okay, so let's say that this is my glass locker. Oh, more maybe I'm gonna sound fancy and say this is my silicate locker. I don't actually know what quartz is made out of. It's probably not made of silicon, but they're treating it like it is because they're having you turn it into glass. So I'll pull the glass out. Wait a minute. I got no room to pull the glass out. Okay, hold on. Let's go to gray metal. Let's get rid of a bunch of lithium into here. Lithium can be in the lithium locker and also the gray metal locker. I've decided. That's my organizational principle. Now, I can pull out a bunch of this stuff. And I can put in the diamonds. And the salt crystals, which are worth their weight in diamonds because they let me cure my food. And also, they let me make fancy water. Then we'll drop these guys in here. And we'll stick those in there. We'll have a snack. We'll drop alien stuff in the alien locker. And we'll have a drink. We'll have a drink to celebrate our successes. Then maybe we'll take a nap. Okay, let me catch up with the chat here real quick. Let's see here. So Cloudcraft says, Subnautica's onboarding problems mostly have to do with the information that's technically there for players to learn explicitly, but many, if not the majority, will not see. It's meant to be a game where figuring out the mechanics is a core part of the experience, but certain basic things, as well as where to look for information, seem meant to be explicit. Yeah, so that is true. So basically, survival games are nice because you kind of have to think of them as onboarding first type games that sort of intrinsically are about the process of learning how to survive. And so I think that people who make survival games tend to think that way more often than others, which is great. But you're right, Cloudcraft, that it's like they created this tool, the journal, that is meant to be a place where you can just keep tons and tons of information. And it works, I mean, like that certainly it is a functional tool, but the organization of the information in that tool doesn't lend itself to a brand new player figuring out where they need to find information, what they need to look for. And so it feels like, the game would benefit from like another pass by a UX designer, like after, because the thing is, this game was developed steadily, slowly in early access. I imagine they made the tool thinking this is going to be for this purpose. And then as they used the tool, as they used the journal, it ended up sort of becoming more and more arcane and difficult to find things. I imagine that once all of the features were in and everyone knows exactly what's important, how everything works, another pass through the journal to reorganize it and put the information the player needs to know, on a more basic level up front would probably have helped. Now, they've moved on to the sequel now, so the chances of that happening are pretty slim. I'd be interested now at some point in checking out Below Zero and seeing if they made some improvements to that organization of information. Yeah, so Smoke Rainbow Pony points out the fact that, the problem that I was highlighting, that the journal, it's got all the information you need in it, but there's so much additional information that you're drowning. And it's like what you want to have is like one place to keep the interesting lore and one place to keep the relevant information. And maybe they can be the same place as long as you organize it in a way that you can tell where that line is. And that's hard to pull off. Yeah, Connor Pribble does agrees with me that State of Decay 2 is a game where you really have to commit to it in order to get far enough to understand what's cool about it. And I think that's a mistake on our part, because I think there's a lot of players out there who would really enjoy State of Decay 2 if they got on board, and it's our failure to get them on board that's creating that obstacle. Let's see here. Smoke Rainbow Pony says that lithium is a pain to gather in the sequel. It's in biomes where a lot of big, dangerous fish live. There's much more aggressive creatures in the sequel, and it kind of makes exploring a don't kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me experience, which, sometimes players are after that. And that's the thing. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, the more hardcore audience for Subnautica was constantly pushing the developers to make the game harder and scarier. Because you get that a lot. Like we on State of Decay 2 constantly have people pushing us to make the game harder and scarier, and they're the loudest people. And it was actually, we kind of went out on a limb when we added the green zone to the game. We kind of went out on a limb because everyone was telling us they want the game harder, not easier. But then once we implemented the feature, like a quarter to a third of players are using it. It's actually very, very popular among our audience. But the people who are using it are not the people who talk to us the most often. And it can be really, really difficult to sort of get your priorities straightened out for your audience. Now, that's not to say, like, that tiny vocal minority, they are an important part of your audience, and you do need to make things for them, because they're they tend to be thought leaders in the community. They tend to sort of be the ones whose hype about your game drives interest in other people to come to your game. Like, it's really important to keep them, and also, I mean, a lot of times they're the early adopters. They're the people who created the core of you, who make up the core of your community. You have to do things for them, but you can't only do things for them. And sometimes you have members of that segment of your community who feel like you should only do things for them, and that you should not ever make a thing that is not the first thing they want. And not everyone in the community has that attitude, but you get a few people who do get that attitude, and they can be very negative about it, and that can be kind of rough, because you want your community to be giving you positive feedback, and so you want to be doing what those people say in order to get positive feedback from them instead of negative. There's an emotional drive to do that, but you can't actually do it that way, because the thing they don't understand a lot of the time is the reason they have a game to play is because they're not the only ones playing it. Like, the reason we're able to justify continuing making the game is because so many people are playing it, and most of those other people want the green zone and don't necessarily need the lethal zone. And so you have to, it takes a balance. So you have to be basically reaching out to all the members of your audience and doing things that benefit all of them, not just the most vocal few. Let's see here. I'm going to keep reading the chat. J-Hole says, I personally enjoy having no idea what I'm doing the first few times I play a new game and discovering new mechanics many play sessions down the road. It feels more rewarding, keeps the game fresh. So yeah, the thing is, if you have a game that's deep enough, you can totally, you can do a great job of onboarding, teach the player everything they need to know, and still have there be discoveries to make further on down the line. Like, some of my favorite moments in like big games is new mechanics that are introduced 2/3 of the way through the game. Like, I don't know. I guess some of them are just, mutations of existing mechanics. Like the moment where in Half-Life you get the supercharged gravity gun. In Half-Life 2, you get the supercharged gravity gun, and suddenly the game just blows your mind. But then there's also stuff like, say, individual levels in like Titanfall 2 and Dishonored 2, where you had weird time manipulation levels about 2/3 of the way through the game, and it's just a brand new mechanic that sort of doubles up on all the other mechanics you've learned so far, and just you're like, wow, this game can do anything. And you just seeing something new 2/3 of the way through a game just weirdly kind of blows up my imagination and makes me feel like anything is possible from here on out. Now, also, Twitch Dude is asking me if I bought any Dogecoin. That's irrelevant. I'm not. It's also no. I mean, like, I didn't buy any cryptocurrency because I don't know. I like more real ways of making money. Cloudcraft is remarking on the fact that I'm not very thorough. That's true. Honestly, the fact that I'm not very thorough isn't a bad thing necessarily. I think if I was extremely thorough, I think that I might not have as strong a sense of players. Oh no, players are not going to get this. Like when I'm actually not that bad. I think sometimes at playing through a game and pretending I have fresh eyes because I'm so good at ignoring things. that I can be useful, even for a game I largely understand, at sort of finding the holes in the onboarding. Because I'm not a player who has the experience of reading every single thing, noticing every single thing, being extremely thorough and observant in the way I'm absorbing a game. Because I know I'm not that player, I might be a good pair of eyes for somebody who wants to improve the onboarding of their game. Yeah. Anyway, okay. I'm doing a lot of reading here, and we should probably actually just move on to another game. So let's quickly wrap up this video. So if you would like to see probably an endless series of Subnautica videos, you can subscribe to my channel. You can also, find probably the next video, the 14th Subnautica video, will probably be there once I've made it. And I don't know, something else right there.